Good morning. Welcome. You are with me in the Bellucci Learning Garden, which is a cooperative garden in the Hilltop neighborhood of Tacoma, Washington. It's late October. You're going to hear planes flying over and train whistles and just the noise of the city. I am going to be showing you a method that has worked for us in our garden for a number of years. It's called the Interbay Mulch Method. And this is a way to put the garden beds to bed. Now I want to pause and certainly give a shout out to the Tacoma Creates program. Through a grant, a contract that we have with Tacoma Creates organization, we are able to bring this video and other classes both in the garden and in local public libraries, all on elements of gardening. So I thank them for the opportunity to be able to fund this effort. So the Interbay Mulch Method was developed by a pea patch in the Seattle, a pea patch garden in the Seattle area. I think in the Wallingford district. I'm going to give them credit anyway. And my friend, the cat, has just joined us. He's my supervisor. So with that, we'll just make sure I stay on task for him. So the Interbay Mulch Method is a method once you've completed your gardening season and you want to get that garden to rest, this is a way to put in short-term and long-term fertilization into the garden. What we have here is a depiction of your garden bed. Now this can be used for a vegetable, in a vegetable bed. It also can be something you use to transform a bed where maybe you grew annuals, perennials, or some shrubs, and you want to rejuvenate it or refresh it. This can be used. So we start with a level of soil, and in that soil is a biological universe. In a gram of this soil, you have thousands of organisms all working together to break down the material in the soil. Soil is composed of clay, sand, silt, and loam. It's stealing the show. And to that, there are lots of micronutrients, microorganisms, good fungi, sometimes some not so good bacteria, but it all works to sort of decay the items that I'm going to be showing you. So we're going to start first with, of course, the amendments. And there is no particular order on this. There's absolutely no particular order, so please just do what you feel you want to do. I'm going to start with alfalfa meal, not alfalfa pellets, only because the pellets break down over a slower period of time. So the alfalfa meal is just broadcast on the bed. It breaks down over the winter, and it provides a really important source of nitrogen to the garden. So alfalfa meal, you can find it at any garden store or big box with a garden department. Not expensive, organic, certainly for sure, and it'll just disappear. Now, I want you to be sure to read the application suggestions or rates for application on the back of any package of amendments that you put in your garden. Next element here is a product called Calpril. Now, we're not promoting the use of Calpril, but we are promoting the use of lime. So this is a Magnesium Calcium product. Again, broadcast in the bed. And over time, this Calpril will dissolve, adding calcium, a very important ingredient, and magnesium, a very important ingredient to the garden. Next one is boron, is the micronutrient. This product is called azomite, which I think is the manufacturer's preferred method. Now this is a very pale pink powder. Again, broadcast. And again, look at the application rates on the package. So you're kind of layering all these things in, all these items in. That might be smart on a windy day to wear a mask when you apply that. I don't have any manures here with me, but in this garden we use bunny manure, rabbit manure, alpaca, llama poo, aged chicken manure, and in our county, Harvest Pierce County has a website where you can see what farmers offer free or very reduced, usually free, manures that you can access. So check if you're in another county for a similar website. I'll bet you'll find it. Vegetable matter is another important thing, and this is where you use all your couldn't eat it any longer, or it's gone bad in your garden. Collard greens, don't need to chop them up, fine. Tomatoes with rotten tomatoes on the vine. Lettuce that's been chewed on and you just can't even get the slugs out of them anymore. So it's vegetable matter. An eggplant that's past its prime, just like that. That eggplant will not be discernible when you go in the spring to remove the coverings. An apple, it's well on its way to decomposing. So all this vegetable matter placed on your beds, not chopped down, just as it is. And then we're going to use mulch. Now I'm going to put, for us, some pine needles on top of this. Pine needles are a really great source of acidity, adding acidity to the soil. And of course, leaves. This almost comes in a mat. Leaves. Okay, you can see we've got kind of a lasagna method going on here. The last and important element is burlap. Now burlap is made from jute, and jute is a plant. So you're putting a sort of a blanket on top, and I'm going to stress why this is important. First of all, if you have coffee roasters, you're going to have access to burlap. Most times these are discarded and should not be. They can be used in the garden. You notice the weave of the burlap. It allows for water, and in our region we get lots and lots of winter rain. But what this weave does is disperse the soil, soak the weave, and so the water disbursement is not a drilling sort of effect on the soil or on the compost itself, but an equal disbursement, keeping everything wet, damp. What it also does is a fantastic source of different really good fungi. In this case, mycorrhizal fungi is growing in this burlap. What the fungi is also doing is degrading this burlap. So you'll have this burlap for a couple of years, but it really begins to degrade, and you again are adding another plant material in your compost bin. Now the important part here is to not disturb this during the winter. In the spring when you're ready, you're still not going to disturb this process. But when you remove the burlap, the mulch will be degraded to a great degree. You will not be able to recognize any of the vegetable matter that I just put in this sample. And you also have created a very diverse biological microcosm. So when you go to plant, be very gentle in separating the soil for the seed that you're going to plant or the plant start that you're going to plant. Do not till. What you have done is created a soil biota or soil biome. And what you don't want to do is just tear that all up. You've created a real symbiotic relationship with all the elements in the soil and the amendments that you've added. And what that will do is reward you greatly come spring and certainly through the summer as you're growing on whatever you're growing in that new bed. There are a couple other amendments that can be added. This happens to be coffee grounds, And I know there's no soil scientists who are looking at the effects of coffee grounds on the worms that are in the soil, but I can't imagine it isn't something that kind of peps everybody up in the soil. But coffee grounds, again, a free and very readily available amendment to the soil, adds nitrogen and is pH neutral. So a good product and free. So the important part here is you're both investing in the short-term and then long-term fertility of that soil, and you're using not chemicals, you're using items that are in and around your neighborhood and available to you. Thank you.